Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
By the way, shout out to Ravi on Sunday Night Baseball. He threw us a shout out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know what spawned it. I mean, I was like, I had the game on. I was half listening to the broadcast, but he said something, and baseball is dead, We should go back and rip that audio. We could probably do that. Because I tweeted about it immediately, so I think we could probably link up like the timestamps.
Is this yesterday?
Sunday Night Baseball, yeah.
Yesterday, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to him last week when Pujols pitched.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Also, if you're listening to this right now, you may notice Dallas's audio does not sound super clean this week. It's because...
Well, we don't have to... It's really not a...
The Oakland A's... what is
First of all,
was it the flight or was the bus or is it what? Like you don't have your luggage got lost.
A bag, correct.
A bag got lost. How many other players in the team had their luggage lost?
Well, it's not a ton. I honestly don't know if it were even any players. Remember I told you because people get on the bus at different times and there's multiple bus times. Mm-hmm. So when you leave your luggage down with the bell service, from there it gets placed on the bus or a truck, depending on how your team is doing it or whatever. But it has to get from the Bell folks to your folks.
Yeah.
Or there's got to be help. There's got to be synergy somewhere in between. Synergy, there was not.
Got it. So you're missing your podcast microphone.
Yeah.
Your leave-in conditioner. What are some of the other items that you're down right now?
Toiletry bag, for sure. So
you're just
essential
poor hygiene right now.
Well, I had to call and get a toothbrush and shaving kit. Let's see what else.
How many ounces of weed did you lose?
No, come on. You're leaving California. I'm going to Seattle, so it's not like I mean, you can get it if you need it. You can get it if you want it.
Seattle's pot friendly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that would quite literally be like taking a pail of sand to the beach. I mean, trust me, I got my favorite flavors, Joe, that I like and that I travel with. But yeah, overall necessity, no. Yeah, so it's not like I'm out major stuff. Like I've got the clothes that I wore that I called the game in. I got a change of clothes that was in my backpack.
I told you, I mean, if we ever travel, we traveled a lot in the last few years together. If I were traveling and I lost my bag that had my hair shit in it, you're not going to see me. I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out the booth. Like, the shit that I put in my hair, you can't just go to CVS and buy. Like, you got to get that shit like special ordered. That's how it looks that amazing.
Do you know what compounding is?
I mean, in theory.
Well, it's a process that is performed at pharmacies where you take medicine and you compound it. You mix it together basically and put it into a form where you can, like topical creams, you can rub it on, shit like that. Like that's basically what your product is. Yeah. It's like 4 or 5 different things thrown together, science project type shit.
Correct.
To cement your fucking Johnny Bravo coif.
Well, cement would imply that it's hard and crusty. It's not. It's soft and smooth.
I mean, you can run your fingers through, but see, like I can hear you running your fingers.
No, you can't.
I didn't say crunch. You said crunch. I didn't say crunch.
You implied it.
You started to use the word.
You implied it.
There's no. It was on your mind.
My hair is smooth as hell, and it's taken me years. Shout out to Lucas Giolito, by the way. He's having another great year. But it all started right there. Spikes up toward 2019. Lucas Giolito comes on the bus. Dallas basically resurrected his career after an abysmal 2018.
True story.
And we gave him some pitching pointers that completely changed his life, not just his career, his life.
Whole life.
And he gave me some hair pointers that completely changed my life. They keep putting me on to one of the products that I use.
There's not I don't think there's a relationship more emblematic of both parties benefiting so greatly from the existence of one another,
right?
Than you and I and Lucas Giolito. Like if we're like essentially the Holy Trinity. I don't want to, I'm not trying to step on any toes here, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know that it gets any better.
No. I mean, you could make the case that we made the most impactful suggestions of each other's lives.
Yep. We sat down. I had the heart to heart with him, and the next thing you know, guys all over Cy Young conversations, all over.
Yeah, he's going to sit there and he's going to stay there. Yeah. White Sox are cooking right now. They got not one but two victories against the New York Yankees on Sunday, or not Sunday night, but Sunday in general. They beat them twice on Sunday. Whew. That was tough. It sucks to lose one game. It definitely sucks to lose two games in the same day.
Can we talk about Johnny Cueto for a brief moment in time?
Sure.
Johnny Cueto.
Mm-hmm.
Couple starts under his belt. 12 innings?
He was just sitting out there, right? No one wanted Cueto?
No one that interested. No one that interested. How many runs has Johnny Cueto given up, Joe? How many runs?
Absolutely nothing.
That's good, right?
That's number one. That leads the league.
That's good. He does lead the league in starters ERA at this point. I mean, whether or not he's a qualifier,
minimum 2 starts if you set the qualifier there.
Yeah, minimum 2 starts. Johnny Cueto, American League leading ERA. Maybe.
I'd love to know if other teams were in on Johnny Cueto. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like a team like the Atlanta Braves could use a Johnny Cueto right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, we could use a lot of people.
Well, I mean, Joe, like that division, the good Lord, what's going on?
I mean, that happens every year in the NL East. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be a tight race," and then it's like one team is good, and it's always the Braves.
It feels. I'm not going to lie. It feels a little like House of Cards-ish right now.
Ooh.
For the Mets because of what's going on with the pitching staff.
Yeah, that's fair. But in fairness to that point,
because I don't think they built up a big enough lead. Obviously, I don't think they built up a big enough. It's fucking May.
They've got an 8-game lead over both the Phillies and the Braves.
Right. But is that enough right now? Like, let's say again, Max Scherzer, 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. Well, what was the official diagnosis?
I think 6 to 8.
6 to 8. Yeah. Okay, so again, operate this way: 6 to 8, max 2 months, 8 weeks. Well, that's 2 months of probably a ton of inactivity. Half that's going to be spent just chilling because there's things you can't do. Because if you do, you aggravate it, and that injury, you go right back to square one. That is the worst part about this type of injury to Scherzer is just the smallest little, say you're 7.5 weeks into that 8-week period, and you get that little tweak, that little, you go right back to square one.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what sucks? And we've seen this with not going to name any names, but a past producer that we had, Dallas. Even if you're not doing any baseball activity, you could sneeze and hurt the motherfucker.
You can. You absolutely can.
And how well do you think Max Scherzer just sits back and chills?
Not well at all. I mean, the guy, you guys saw the video of him. Like, who was it? The ambassador to
Japan.
The ambassador to Japan was coming out to try to throw out the first pitch, and Scherzer's on the mound like, nah, we're fucking going. Like, sorry, I don't know. You should probably talk to them over there, but I'm going now. I'm working. Like, the ambassador, you can see him run out there, and Scherzer is not even looking.
Where is this video?
You got to pull it up here. It's so
Was that this year?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. The ambassador, you can see them. Like, there's two people One of them, obviously, the ambassador, and the other one, just a media handler, I would assume. They're running out to the field. Scherzer's already going. Like he's already thrown. It looks like he's already thrown 2 fucking pitches.
Oh, there he is.
Like in his warm up, the dude's running out. Like, so I guess I'm just go out, throw my first pitch.
This guy was supposed to throw out the first pitch, but Scherzer beat him to the mound and didn't let him throw it.
Just blue balled him. Sorry, it's your big day. It's not anymore, dude.
Not anymore.
Like that dude's been sending out like the mass texts to people like, yo, you got to tune in. It's going to be dope. I'm throwing out the first pitch. Fucking City Field, man. Scherzer's on the mound. It's going to be awesome.
He's been practicing for weeks.
Real sweet.
Practicing.
2.4 million views on this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, last year he yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say, and if that person does make it to the mound to get that pitch off, that video's got 10,000 views.
Not even.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if it was posted by the Mets.
Shit? This is exactly why Max Scherzer is the best in the world. Like, you can pull up numbers and you can say, all right, you got Kershaw, you got Verlander, but this is what makes Max Scherzer, is that this poor bastard is sitting here totally stoked. This might be the best moment of his life. He gets to throw out the first pitch at Citi Field. Maybe the Mets are his favorite team. We don't know. And then you got Max Scherzer just being like, get fucking lost, buddy. I'm warming up right now because but
you know what? That's a great story. That's a great story for them to take home.
Yeah.
Now, that's an even better story. Like, hey, you remember that time I was supposed to throw out the first pitch? Well, I didn't. Why? Because Max Scherzer's a goddamn bully and wouldn't let me anywhere near the fucking pitcher's
If
mound.
he's a Mets fan, you can't even be upset about that. It's almost better that happened. It's like,
a
fuck yeah,
passage.
dude. Tell me to fuck off.
It's a rite of exactly. It's like a rite of passage, man. You're all good.
Yeah, Jared. But what if Garrett Cole did that? Would you say the same thing?
No, I'd be like, fuck you. You're not good enough to say fuck you to the Japan ambassador. He's not. He's like the 4th best starter on his own team.
Well, to Max's defense, I don't feel like there was a specific, attitude directive towards the Japanese ambassador or the ambassador to Japan.
Yeah. Credit to me for being honest with that question.
About what?
Would I have treated it differently if Garrett Cole did it?
Oh.
Absolutely.
Well, no, if you would have given any other answer, you're going to get skewered. People know you.
Here, let me just elaborate here. Let me give some context. I wouldn't have answered it differently because I have a bias against Garrett Cole. I answered it differently because I'm looking at the history of Max Scherzer being a badass and the history of Garrett Cole being a whiny ass bitch. It's different.
Oh, wow. Right.
It's different.
Okay.
Would you agree or disagree? Garrett Cole has a history of whining and complaining about things. Max Scherzer has a history of being a badass, winning championships, winning Cy Youngs, things that Garrett Cole's never done.
I'll say that Max Scherzer definitely has the resume of badassery.
Yeah. Garrett Cole doesn't. He does not have a Cy Young. He does not have a World Series. He does not have a fucking 20 strikeout game. He doesn't have a no-hitter. I mean, Max Scherzer's been there, done that. He's done it all. Garrett Cole really has done nothing. He hasn't. What's he done? What has Garrett Cole done?
He's got a nice
What's he done
paycheck.
besides make Billy Crystal question his Yankee fandom? That's it.
Wow. I tell you, what Max Scherzer has done, though, is he has given you a prime example of why, and you made this point kind of a little bit ago, you don't have to have the best numbers in every category for you to be unequivocally the right answer to the question of who's your favorite pitcher or who do you think was the best pitcher of this generation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, that's a viable answer for that reason and that reason alone. Because I love the dude's attitude and I love the way he goes about his business.
Well, he backs it up.
Yes. And well, as we have beaten over the head many times, probably the first true example of a super contract being fulfilled, if not, exceeded by the player.
Yeah. And you mentioned maybe he doesn't have the best numbers. Someone else in the conversation for best pitcher of the generation, does have all the numbers this year, and he's 39 years old. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you're like, are you guys really going to duck the Josh Donaldson, Tim Anderson thing just because Donaldson's your boy? No, it's just this flowed better.
Segue.
This is a nice little segue here. Justin Verlander. God bless you. May God come down from the heavens and bless you, Dallas Braden. On, what was that, Saturday night? Saturday night. Justin Verlander, 6 innings, 6 hits, 0 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, no walks, to lower his ERA on the season down to 1.22. That is his 3rd straight outing where he has not given up a run. He struck out 18 batters in 19 innings, giving up 9 hits, 5 walks. The Astros 3-0 in those 3 starts. And I'm looking at it now. Justin Verlander leads the league in wins, leads the league in ERA with the aforementioned 1.22 ERA, leads the league in ERA plus, and he leads the league in WHIP, 0.716. 0.716. The strikeouts are not like otherworldly coming from Verlander. Strikeouts per 9 is about 8.5 this year. He struck out 49 batters in 51 2/3. Still pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, we're used to seeing in years past 10.5, 12.1, 12.2, 11.4 for the strikeouts per 9. Like, Verlander's a strikeout pitcher. So I guess, I'm sure there are many pitchers in the league who would kill to have a strikeout per inning. But we expect these, video game numbers from Verlander. It doesn't matter. He's still getting outs. He's still getting outs and people aren't scoring runs.
What's impressive about what he's doing is he's a power pitcher, and you're not getting this kind of performance from him in this stage in his career in a different way. Where we talk, like, think about CC Sabathia. When CC figured out how to pitch without just outstuffing guys, because that's why guys like that are so damn good, because not only do they have an idea of how to go about the work, but they have the tools that, that's next level toolbox when you got a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and the kind of wipeout shit that CC had before, injuries and just before getting old. And so when you figure out how to pitch on the other side of your stuff and you can have success, it looks a little different than it did before, but you're still pretty damn good. Justin Verlander is still pretty damn good. He's the best in the league, and it's in the same fashion it has always been. That's what's impressive. That's what you got to think about, is because he's still, for better or worse, outstuffing people, but it's not, to your point, the dominance of a 12, 13K per 9 vibe right now. It's a 10K per 9 vibe? Oh, damn. Imagine being
it's a little less than a strikeout per inning.
Yeah, imagine being 39, still blowing 97, 98, still wiping people out in the same way you were when you entered the league. Like that, it's fucking ridiculous with a brand new tendon.
He does have a brand new tendon.
Good God.
I'm looking at the velocity numbers here for Justin Verlander, and so 2020 was when he made 1 start, or whatever it was, a couple starts. So let's go back to 2019. Okay. 2019.
Hot tub time machine.
Just in a standard time machine.
I'm already there and I'm fucking vibing, bud.
Standard time machine in the month of April. In April, Justin Verlander, who was at the time 37, was averaging 94.45 miles per hour with the 4-seam fastball. April this year, 95.09 miles per hour. Ooh. So 2 years later, 2 years older, in your late 30s, his fastball is actually faster.
What's the spin like? Because we were talking about that earlier. Like, what's he going to be without whatever spider tack?
Yeah, that is make a difference. That is true.
What? We'll just go to Savant. I'm sure it's right in the same neighborhood.
Mm.
And you got to understand, this is where don't start jumping to conclusions, because if it's better, it would stand to reason that it might be a little better because his arm's not fucking banged up. His elbow's not banged up. He can feel the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for him. I was that was a genuine concern of mine. And
what was?
If what he was going to look like post Spider Tack, because he was very clearly a Spider Tack guy.
Yeah, I think guys that know how to pitch like Justin Verlander, you're gonna watch them make the adjustments. There's nothing out there, I don't believe, that has been so relied upon where guys are just a completely different human being. And I know that we've seen that. And that's why it's like mind blowing. Like, holy shit. Like, are we really like going to be completely different? And there's no, like, you can't make the adjustment at all.
Yeah.
We can't even get to a happy medium here.
He's such a beast though. Like that 2019 season, he went 21-6 and threw 223 innings.
Well, I was going to say he led the league if I remember, he led the league in starts, innings, like fucking
whip.
Not ERA. There you go, whip. Because what do you have then? It was 2 years in a row. We had like a 2.5
sub one. Yeah, his whip was 902 in 18 with a 2.52. And then in 19, his whip was 803 with a 2.58 ERA. And strikeouts to walks ratio led the league both years. Hits per 9 led the league in 19.
Where was he at in strikeouts? 18 or 19, he led the league in punches, right?
Yeah, he had 290 strikeouts
220 some odd fucking innings.
And then he struck out 300 in
yes.
2019, but did not lead the league. I think that was Cole.
Yeah, would Cole have 300? Like 300. Well, it wasn't. Did he even have 10 more punch outs than Verlander?
I don't know, but
why do I want to say 307? Why do I have the number 307 in my head? I think maybe because that's in like 68 Vita Blue punched out like 300 and fucking some odd people.
Yeah, like these numbers are fucking mind boggling. Like I think as we sort of.
Like I'm sure you go to his baseball reference page and it lights up. There's some black ink.
Yeah, there's some black ink. As we get more removed from, I think, Verlander's career, call it 10 years from now, he's been retired for, call it 8 years, something like that. I think we're gonna have it's impressive as it is right now, but I think we're gonna have even more appreciation for it as we sort of trend towards the whole like starters going 5 innings, only seeing the lineup twice, and bullpens being having more of an impact than ever before in our game. The fact that Justin Verlander started out in 2005 and then went into that era of we're not going to let you see the lineup for a third time and we're taking our starters out after 5 innings, but he was still at 39. I mean, I don't want to like jinx him or whatever, but like, to project out what he's going to be able to do this year, you might have a situation where at 39 years old, Justin Verlander is putting the third Cy Young on his shelf, and it really should be. If he wins the Cy Young this year, it should be his 5th.
And it's back to back.
He's gotten boned twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, it's a big Hank Williams. I mean, dude, we broke in together. He was a year before me. So like coming in at the same time and just watching him become like a I don't want to say feared figure, but him become a guy like early on. It was like, ooh, like this dude, shit is real with this dude. Really real. Because from the minute he hit the scene, like it was 200 innings, 200 punch outs. The minute he hit the
book it.
And you're just like, fuck, man. Like, because that's the goal, you know. And I don't want to say that goal wasn't as lofty then when we came into the game. But being a 200 inning guy still had that unicorn effect. Like there just wasn't a lot of guys doing that with regularity, and you knew what it represented if you're able to get to that mark, in arbitration, free agency. Like that represents a horse. Horses get fed very, very well. And Justin Verlander has got more hay in the barn than he'll ever be able to eat.
Man. Justin Verlander. Dallas, do you have the fucking balls to say that Justin Verlander is going to win the Cy Young this year? Can you say that on May 23rd?
I mean,
by the way, there's this one dude on our podcast Reddit page that is like, I hate that segment. The do you have the ball? It's not a segment. It's a fucking question, you jackass. I'm asking Dallas if he has the balls to say that Justin Verlander is going to win the Cy Young Award this year. It's not a segment. If it were a segment, it'd be like, all right, now it's time for the do you have the balls? Brought to you by fucking Roman. Like, no, that's what a segment is. This is simply just an impromptu question. It's based on feel. It's feel. This is my question to you, Dallas. Do you have the fucking balls to say that Justin Verlander is going to keep this up for an entire season at 39, coming off a TJ, with a team, by the way, and you can attest to this, with a team that is in the hunt for October. So the longer that goes, those high stress innings, the innings that mean more, that's more tension on those tendons. Do you have the fucking balls to say that he can win that Cy Young Award?
Garrett, is as much as I want to believe that there could easily be an emergence of multiple arms to challenge, that's exactly what I think they'll be doing. And it might be a futile exercise. They might just be challenging Justin Verlander.
Damn.
But I think Justin Verlander, if things continue to trend this way, who else is sniffing that?
Who else is sniffing the Cy Young Award in the American League?
If Justin Verlander, just on average, continues to perform this way, and at 39 with a new ligament decides to give you 33 starts.
I tell you what.
Nobody.
No, not true. Not true. There's
like Nestor?
There are a few guys that are in the American League.
You're throwing Kopech around out there?
That are still sub 2. Martin Perez. Would have been nice to still have him. Nestor Cortez, Alek Manoah, Michael Kopech, all sub 2 in the American League. You still have
out of all those guys,
pick,
who do you have
Gausman.
the most faith, though? I feel like it might even be Verlander.
Who do I have the most faith in being able to sustain this?
Yeah.
Alek Manoah, I feel like can stay in this.
Okay, well, let's look at it like this. Let's just start within the division, because you know who their competition is within the division.
Mm-hmm.
So who's got it the easiest within their division? I don't think that's really a question.
You're talking about the Central? Like Kopech?
Or the West?
Probably.
You think the West is easier?
As
the Central
right now,
fucking sucks. The Central has, the White Sox themselves are a game over 500. Then you have the Guardians, and both the Detroit Tigers and Kansas City Royals have a 350 winning percentage. In the West, like the Rangers are okay. The Mariners are okay. The Angels are good. And then the A's fucking suck. But the Central,
just struggling right now.
The Central, like both the A's are fucking terrible, but the Tigers and the Royals are worse than the A's.
Ooh,
so Kopech kind of has the better path here within the division. It's not like they only fucking play within the division, but
right. But so that's why when you flush it out, Kopech might be a guy you think can hang in there. But I think Verlander I think Verlander is just fine.
Yeah. I mean, he can. I ain't worried about Verlander. I ain't worried about JV. Can he do it? I think he can. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, but what if Chris Sale comes back, Jake? I mean, that's going to be a problem, right?
Well, then he's going to do it a lot better than him.
Exactly.
I mean, he is coming back. I think you can still probably put in a future for Justin Verlander to win the Cy Young at the DraftKings Sportsbook. And you can slide into stacks of cash this baseball season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during MLB season? With DraftKings same-game parlays, you can do just that. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets, like which team will win, how many bases will be stolen, total runs, and more. It's your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code JARED, Jared. Bet just $5 and get $150 in free bets no matter what happens on the field. That is promo code JARED at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. MLB trademarks used with permission. All right, so let's get into this Josh Donaldson, Tim Anderson thing that happened here. The context is, well, earlier in the series, Donaldson, as he's been known to do, he slapped a tag on TA that was a little bit harder than maybe TA thought was necessary. And then we have Josh Donaldson on Saturday coming to the plate. Yasmani Grandal immediately getting into the face of Josh Donaldson. And I see this clip and I'm like, what is this about? What the hell is going on here? And Donaldson, who he's not afraid, didn't seem to be combative, even though Yasmani was the aggressor. After the game, we find out that Donaldson called Tim Anderson Jackie, as in Jackie Robinson. And on the surface, I can see why Tony La Russa straight up called it racist. Like he threw the R word out there. He said that is racist. On the surface, I would get it. Not knowing the character or anything about Josh Donaldson, I'd be like, that is fucking racist. Why would he call him Jackie Robinson? Well, in 2019, Tim Anderson compared himself to Jackie Robinson after he hit that bomb off of Brad Keller of the Kansas City Royals and then chucked his bat back at his own dugout. And he said, more or less, I'm the Jackie Robinson of today because I'm kind of breaking the barrier of all the old school, that they don't want you to flip your bat. They don't want you to have fun. They don't want you to scream, and they don't want you to pimp homers. Well, I want to do that. So if I get thrown at because of it, like I feel like the Jackie Robinson of today, where I'm getting punished for trying to have fun. I guess, according to Josh Donaldson, I don't. That's why we said last night, I was like, why didn't someone ask Tim Anderson about the past context? But according to Donaldson, he said that he had made this joke with TA before. Like he had said, like, what's up, Jackie? Like he had called him Jackie before and they had joked about it. So it was cool. So like, I know that like people want you to just fall on one side and be like, this is my take. And this one person is right and this one person is wrong. I kind of disagree with with both of them. I think that was not the time for Josh Donaldson to joke around with Tim Anderson. I think the context of the past joking around with that is very important here, because if he had started doing it for the first time, then I would totally be on Tim's side. But the fact that he had joked around with it and said that before, and he had taken it as a joke before, you can't then take that back and be like, that's over the line. Like if it was If it was something that you joked around with before, then whatever. But I think on Josh, like the strike against Josh is like poor timing. Like clearly he don't want to fuck with you right now. Clearly you guys are not buddies and pals right now. So now I'm like, I get maybe the point that, or the goal was to, I guess, lessen the tension between them.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he was probably trying to be like, hey man, like, you know, no hard feelings. Like, remember that time that we made that joke, whatever. Like, I'm over it if you're over it. I feel like that's what he was trying to do. And Tim did not take it that way and felt disrespected. And then, I mean, TA is beloved in that White Sox clubhouse. So if TA feels disrespected, well, guess what? Now you just disrespected the entire fucking roster, which is where you get a veteran guy like Yasmani Grandal in your face when you come up to the plate, being as he's the backstop. So that's kind of where I fall on it, is like, I don't think that you, like, if you considered it a joke and you laughed about it before, I don't think that you can take that back and be like, actually, you know what? I am offended by that. It's like, if you're busting balls about it before, then it's kind of weird to be like, hey, he said this and we should condemn him for this when he said it before. and you left that out. But it was stupid of Josh to do it in that moment, knowing that, like, hey, now's probably not the time to be joking around with Tim.
That's where, like, the context makes a big impact. Is how was this quote unquote joked about between these two in the past? How did it land? Was it understood? Was it received well? Was there smiles back and forth? Like, because if that occurred once and somebody believes that there's history there, well, then you would understand why somebody believes it would be on the table, or that would be something that would be okay to say in an exchange because it had been said before and it was received well and everybody was okay with it. Right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, to the point you just made, if it is said again and now it's just a matter of timing, well, then maybe having that explained would kind of clear the air. What I want people to like truly kind of understand here, though, and what I believe is, when it comes to stuff like this, like racial tension and timing and things of that nature, you don't get to tell other people what they're offended about and what they're not, what they can be offended by and what they can't, because you don't know what kind of day they're having. You just don't know what's going on. And there might be things that they've tolerated in the past that today, right now, contextually, in this moment as we sit, bro, I can't have that. Like, you can't be fucking and whatever that may be. And that's why I say the context of having a discourse before, if that's real, then explanations on why it wasn't okay now, I think would help people try to understand and wrap their brain around this, because I don't believe it was coming from a place of deep-rooted racism from Josh Donaldson. And I don't believe that, because he said that they've had that exchange prior. And I don't think that, like, I don't know, in a game situation that would be the time that, if you were going to have somebody that would be an outwardly bigoted individual, would fire, I don't know, fire that arrow then. But I don't know. I have no idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, but you just know that as a team on the field, when stuff like this happens, you close ranks and you shield each other, you shield your guy, and you just let it be known, like, look, somebody crossed a line here, and this is how we are going to react. So what I think baseball has in front of them is a great opportunity right now to, instead of levying punishment right away and dropping the hammer right away, this is a great opportunity to continue the conversations we talk about as a society when it comes to social injustice, and understanding that there's nuance to how things are processed. And in the heat of the moment, if you feel like you have the right or the leeway to say something, and it turns out it wasn't received the way it was in a different setting, for me, that becomes an opportunity to learn. Because if you felt it was okay for whatever reason and it wasn't, well, now is a chance to learn why. And on the flip side of that, maybe instead of persecuting somebody and levying the hammer right away, knee-jerk reaction, educate somebody. And now it feels like we're all working towards the same goal. Now it feels like we're really trying to use our platforms and make a difference here. And I think that's important for the game. I think that's important for youngsters who are watching the game. Everybody who loves them some Tim Anderson, you and I included, wants to know that he is making an impact for the people that look up to him. Same can be said for Josh Donaldson. Same can be said for every other player that has this platform. But it's a beautiful opportunity, in my opinion, for baseball, for these guys to really set an example on how, if there's misunderstandings, if there's things like this that need to be worked through, how it might be better served for everybody involved to have a conversation as opposed to like just digging our heels in and not really being interested in learning anything about this.
Joey?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends like when Josh said it. I guess it was during that game. Like they were like kind of talking shit coming off the field together. And how he said it. Was he really trying to squash the beef, or was he still mad at him and brought it up when he was mad? I think that probably makes a big difference in how Tim Anderson took it.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a bad look in general. Like before you heard Donaldson's like explanation, it was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like it was just, I mean, it still doesn't seem good, but I don't know if they're going to suspend him. I think it's actually kind of probable. I think they probably will.
And that's why I say, like, and I'm not saying don't suspend anybody. I'm not like, if there's punishment that needs to be levied, fine, but let's utilize the opportunity to have a conversation and to have a discussion to make everybody understand here, what's going on. Is that crazy of me to think that could happen, or that would be good?
No, I mean, I think that's what MLB probably wants, is for like Tim Anderson and Donaldson to talk about it, and that for them both to come out and be like, okay, like it was water under the bridge. But I think it comes down to what Tim Anderson wants to do.
Yeah, if you could put any context to it, like I think that's the best thing.
Yeah, there is missing context, like tone.
Yeah.
When Donaldson said it this time around, I guess the context in Tim's words of when it originated in 2019. Were you in on the joke? Because I know Liam Hendriks said that because Josh said it was an inside joke between the two, and Liam Hendriks came out and said, "I've never heard of two guys that aren't friends having an inside joke with each other, so it seems like bullshit."
Yeah, see, like that's a very, like, that's a great point. Those are and again, that's context. Like if somebody makes a joke initially and it doesn't land well, and it's not something that's just accepted, and there's like back and forth, laugh, oh yeah, whatever. You're probably not making that joke again. It's probably clear that it wasn't received well. And that's why, like, the context on that moment is, I think, can be important here, because like if TA strikes me as a guy who, if you say something that is like kind of out of pocket or just kind of like, whoa, what? Like
he'd call you on it.
Right.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to let that shit slide.
Right. Yeah. So I guess there's more to the story. I don't know how much is going to be made public. I know the league talked to Josh, then they talked to TA, then they went back to Josh. So yeah, I mean, I think they were saying on the Sunday Night Baseball broadcast, like, a lot of people are going to be paying attention to how Major League Baseball handles this. And my fear is that they're going to make an example out of Josh Donaldson when we don't, like, I feel like we have to know, like, if we're going to label Josh Donaldson a racist, we're gonna need the public should have the full context, Sure. And I feel like whatever the suspension or fine ends up being, that could be potentially damaging definitely damaging to Donaldson, because it's like, well, if you can't get suspended or fined for ball busting. So if there's a punishment, it's because the league deemed that it was racist. Is that correct or incorrect?
No, yes, that's exactly how I would look at it is, but what you could say is the shit talking led to the scuffle, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
yeah, I mean they fined and suspended Nick Castellanos for standing over somebody. So I mean, I guess the precedent is there for suspending someone for just having an aggressive conversation at home plate. I guess they could do that. Yeah.
They also suspended Tim Anderson for saying the N-word, during a fight.
Yeah,
when he got thrown
he
out.
Gave the middle finger and got in trouble for that too.
Exactly. So I think that kind of puts him in a bad spot where I mean that's the stupidest suspension ever, to suspend him for that.
Well, okay, so here's the other thing though. Whether you believe that was stupid or not, why did they suspend him for that?
I have no idea.
For using the word, right? Which obviously has heavy and major racial implications. And so that's the precedent that MLB is setting when it comes to stuff like that. So if this is deemed to be of any sort of racial implication, like Jared says, not like, I'm not saying that Jared says there's racial, you know what I'm saying? Then that would be the reason that they're suspending him. And then from there, it's like, damn, in the history books, why did Josh Donaldson get suspended? For making a racist comment. Is that basically what you're asking, Jared?
Yeah, I mean, if he's suspended, it's like, I guess the league would have to address the infraction, no? Or would they just be like, here's a fine and a suspension? I mean, so when a player in Dallas, I don't know if you've ever gotten fined as a player, but when you get fined, you get a letter from the league. They'll just leave it in your locker, and a lot of that.
I got a letter from the law. Yeah, I got a letter for a potential fine because of a uniform violation, and that letter was left straight up FBI, in my locker.
Yeah, you got
a photo of my uniform violation.
Yeah,
you're not fighting this. It's like a fucking seatbelt ticket from the camera. Got you.
Yeah. So the league, I mean, oftentimes when we discuss fines and suspensions, it's because those things were made public. A lot of times players can get fined and we never even know about it. Recently there was a guy that he sent me a picture. He got fined $350 by the league because he threw his helmet. And it's like, is that public information? No. So we may those two. Here's what I'm hoping happens. I hope Tim and Josh have a fucking private conversation. I'm sure Josh has tried to reach out. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to him since April. I would hope that those two can let this thing simmer for a second so that emotions aren't running high, and then have a calm and civil discussion about it, because to me, it feels like a misunderstanding. I think regardless, an apology should be given to Tim. If he felt disrespected or offended, doesn't matter what your intentions were. You can describe, hey, this is what I this is what I meant. I was just busting balls. You can still say that, but you can still apologize and say, hey man, if I offended you in any way, I'm sorry. So I'm just hoping that conversation takes place, because I like both players. It's awkward. When you're dealing with a situation in hockey, who's that dude that everyone hates? Oh man,
Tom Wilson.
Someone like that. I can't remember the dude. The letter A stands out. I think he was
Steve
on the
Avery.
Rangers. Steve Avery. Yeah. That dude's an asshole. And when he does something shitty to a player, everyone can agree we like this guy and we hate this guy, and this guy is known for doing shitty things. With Donaldson, he has controversial moments. But I think for the most part, he means well. And I just hope that there's a peaceful resolution here where those two guys can, I mean, at least agree to let bygones be bygones. You don't have to be buddies or pals after this, but.
Yeah, I just think, I also think it's a really good opportunity, like it's a conversation that can occur that I think could transcend baseball and could really help society. And it might be like grandiose thinking for me, like, well, come on, guy. It's just a conversation between two baseball players who got some shit said that was lost in transit. No, I think it could be bigger than that. And I think it could have a greater impact than just something that gets solved or resolved in the baseball world. So that's what I'm hoping for as well.
All right. I think that was a pretty thorough, meaty coverage of that story.
We didn't talk about his fucking bomb he hit. That was pretty savage.
Fucking 3-run tank
and
telling Yankee Stadium, shut the fuck up. How you guys like that?
Animal.
By the way,
were you watching it? Weren't they? They were chanting "fuck Altuve" while he was hitting in that bat. Am I wrong? Was I hearing that?
I was recording the podcast. I just had it on mute. This was Aaron Boone's quote about it. Josh has been very forthcoming with the history of it and the context of it, so I don't believe there was any malicious intent in that regard. But this is just, in my opinion, somewhere he should not be going. That's kind of where I landed on it. Is like, I don't think that there was any malicious or racist intent, but probably shouldn't have said it. Anyway.
Definitely should have said that, as you can see. But what do you think about everyone was complaining about ESPN just like bringing it up so much during the broadcast? I feel like they should bring it up. That's like, why not? And then it makes the game more interesting. No, there's like a story behind it.
Liam Hendricks, this is the Liam Hendricks quote. Usually you have inside jokes with people that you get along with, not people who don't get along at all. So that statement right there was complete bullshit.
Well, there you go. And Liam's not a guy to really tiptoe around things.
No, he's not. Not a big tiptoe guy.
Yeah. I mean, that could be perceived as, hey, we asked him, like, is this an inside joke that you guys have? Like, is this something that has happened before? And you might walk away from hearing that from Liam thinking that wasn't a joke that they had like exchanged before.
Yeah.
That wasn't something that was okay or on the table.
That piece of the puzzle is very important here. Yeah. And I, to my knowledge, have not seen Tim ask that question. I haven't seen him address the past context publicly. And I mean, if Tim says like, yeah, like it wasn't funny back then that changes a lot of things. So I guess we will see if that is addressed or if Tim says, you know what, we're just going to keep it moving. So anyways.
Well, let me tell you, speaking of keeping it moving, you want to know who's just kind of fucking kept things moving?
Who?
How about them Friars?
Ooh.
How about them Friars? How about them? How about the dads?
Yeah.
Huh? How about the San Diego dads?
Yeah.
But more specifically, keeping it moving. Your star shortstop goes down.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Enter third baseman / right fielder, Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Machads.
Yeah. Things are
absolutely fucking banging the ball, huh?
By the way, 2020, I know a lot of people, all of us want to forget 2020 as a year, and most of us from a baseball standpoint as well.
So why are you making us relive it? Why are you making us relive?
I'm not. I'm just saying that there was one good piece of 2020, and it was that
the creation of baseball doesn't exist.
The creation of baseball doesn't exist on YouTube, one.
Boom.
And two, that was kind of like Dodgers, Padres, that rivalry was, that was premier baseball every single time that they played each other. It also carried over into 21. And right now, I mean, like even when the head-to-head matchups were high quality, you still didn't really, it wasn't reflected so much in the standings. Like the Dodgers pretty much cakewalked to a division title again. But as we stand right now, coming into play on May 23rd, the Los Angeles Dodgers only have a half game lead on the San Diego Padres. Just a half game lead. Do I expect it to stay that way? No. The Dodgers are at a plus 88 run differential. The Padres are at plus 29. Padres are on a little bit of a heat right now. They've won 4 straight. And I'm sure that there will be distance between those two teams somewhere down the line the more that you play out the 162-game season. But it is worth noting that the Padres are right up their keister. And I think that has a lot to do. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Manny Machado hitting 374 this year. 374. He's one of 3 players in Major League Baseball to still have an OPS over 1,000. You got Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, and Manny Machado.
I just want people we're getting ready to fucking lather up, double fist, twister, just gurgle Manny Machado right now.
Yeah.
And he's hitting 374.
Yes, he is.
Just imagine what a 400 season looks like. Again, just imagine what that season would look like. That's all. Just appreciate. Just a brief moment of appreciation for what that must have looked like. All right, back to Manny Machado.
Yeah, Manny Machado leading the league in hits.
Everything.
Batting average, on base, slug, obviously OPS, OPS plus, total bases. And he's also been intentionally walked 4 times.
He leads his team in homers, RBIs, runs, hits, extra base hits, stolen bases. Yeah, stolen bases. Manny Machado leads the team in stolen bases.
Swiping bags, bro?
Doing bags, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. He's only had, I was looking at this. The dude has had 10 plate appearance stretch this entire season where he's gone hitless.
Yeah.
1 plate appearance, not game, not recorded at bat, plate appearance. He's gone 1 stretch of 10 plate appearances without a hit. That was, I think, hold on. Write it down.
Probably when he faced the Braves.
It was May 13th through the 15th. 10 plate appearances without a hit. And it might have been a few more because he got a hit the next day or the next game. So it might be 13, 12. I like 10. 10's a round number. But that's just
do people still hate Manny Machado, or we over that?
I think there's definitely some people around these parts that don't like him very much, but I think nationally, he's not as hated as he once was.
He hasn't stepped on an ankle in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute since he ended somebody's career.
Remember, he threw a bat at a third baseman for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, was that Donaldson?
And that third baseman was Josh Donaldson.
Mm-hmm. Donaldson tagged him a little hard too.
He did. He shoved him right in the stomach.
He didn't like that. Manny hit the ground, didn't he? Manny took a few steps backwards and ended up hitting the ground.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he hit the ground. Oh, yeah, but
he did.
I mean,
he fell on his little ass.
He did. It was a little bit of a flop. It was a little bit of a flop.
Yeah.
Wow, you call Manny a flopper? You're the one who just asked if people are hating Manny, or here you are calling Manny a flopper.
Bro, yeah,
maybe you have.
Are we
something
over
to
the
say
Manny Machado hate yet? That flopping fuck.
Wow.
Dude, I got fucking. I'm the number 1 Manny Machado supporter. You go back to one of my first videos. I have a billion comments. Get off his dick, you fucking dick rider, because I've defended him so much. I love Machado. I liked him more when he was breaking people's ankles, to be honest.
Really? Jesus Aguilar would have a word, please.
Oh, yeah. Aguilar, they're friends.
Ended Dustin Pedroia's career. People don't talk about it enough.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
He did.
Wow.
So
that's who you're a fan of? That's
your guy.
Manny Machado you're asking.
I just play
if
baseball.
Still hate?
I just play baseball. I play baseball. That's the way it is.
It's crazy, man. But Manny Machado has stepped up in the absence of
Tatis,
Fernando
but
Tatis.
so is Hosmer.
Hosmer's cooled off a little bit.
Cooled a bit.
But look at their lineup without Tatis is it just looks, I mean, you plug him in there, it looks 10 times better. I mean, they have Profar sitting 4th right now, which is not a great look.
Yeah, hey, what happened? What happened? Profar getting shit thrown at him out in left field? Like, what happened there?
I did
you
not
guys see that?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
in
like
San
people
Diego?
like, no, like, oh God, where was it? It was this weekend, I believe. Yeah, Profar was getting shit thrown at him.
Hosmer was hitting .415 on April 28th. And he's still having a good year, obviously. That's why they call it an average, but he's hitting .319 with an .834 OPS. He's hitting an even 100 over the last week.
Can you not, like, I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in your voice.
I like Eric Hosmer.
You just
good people.
You just basically eulogized a 319 average.
No, I just said he's not hitting. You just
basically eulogized an 800 plus.
You know what? You know what I'm doing? Here's what I'm doing. I'm giving more context to the season than Manny Machado's had.
Oh damn!
Manny Machado's hitting .374.
You had no idea what a fucking offense looked like the last 10 days. The last 10 days is the first time you've seen offense, and you're like the groundhog. You had no idea. Get off, Hosmer.
You are welcome, by the way. The Red Sox are the only chance that our trio of teams has at finishing the season with a record over 500.
Wow.
The A's certainly aren't going to help. The Braves certainly aren't going to help.
We just took 2 out of 3 from the Fish, man. The fuck?
Yeah, we just played a very tightly contested series.
Did you win any of the games?
You're talking about? We almost won the series.
Nah. So you didn't win the series.
That's not what we're talking about.
No, I was just asking. I didn't.
I
did kind of see a little bit of it. I saw a couple games. I was watching yesterday, actually.
Shohei Ohtani hit a fucking bomb.
Yeah, that was big time.
I love him.
Yeah, he's really good. Were the A's ever interested, or
you done?
Well, I mean, because
why do you think they're cutting payroll, Jared? They're saving up for Shohei. They're getting him and Soto coming to Oakland.
Oh, could you, buddy? Showtime and Soto in a ballpark down on the water.
You guys, it's not like the A's are strangers to signing international superstars. They signed Yoenis Cespedes, and I heard a great Yoenis Cespedes story the other day.
What do you got?
So when he was in Boston, people forget he played for the Red Sox for like a couple months. Was eventually traded for Rick Porcello. He was just chilling in the hallway that goes to the clubhouse, and he's just ripping a heater, smoking a cigarette, and this player walks by, and he was like, "Hey, Poppy, you like dragons?" And he was like, "Yeah, shit. I mean, who doesn't like dragons?" And then he takes out a second cigarette, lights it, shoves both cigarettes up his nose, breathes it in, and then blows the smoke out of his nose. He's like, "That's a dragon."
That's something I would do, man. That is something I would do if I was in the show. I would do it in the outfield.
Ripping double darts.
That's me.
Yeah. What a guy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So good. So he was so much fun. He was so much fun to have.
Yeah. Yeah. He dude's
it's crazy to think like that he like his introduction to like big league baseball in America was with the A's.
Yeah, he must have been like, this is not worth getting smuggled over here. He must have been like,
I don't think that's what he thought. I feel like I
was told this would have been
what an opportunity it was.
No.
Yeah. I can almost unequivocally guarantee that there was a level of excitement that he had not felt before.
Yeah, and then he saw it and was like, and then that excitement quickly went away.
No. It's not true.
I think that's what happened. I think he was probably like, man, this is going to be awesome. The big leagues, the Grande de Ligas. And then he gets there.
The what?
And then he gets to Oakland.
Don't ignore me. The what?
And then he gets to Oakland and he's like, wow, this is it, huh?
I'm going back to Cuba. I'm going back to getting paid $20 a season
for the A's was that they funded his fucking parking lot full of expensive sports cars.
Well, I mean, really everybody did. He just, yeah. And mad respect to Sespe for showing up. He was like, you know what I'm into? Cars. And I'm going to have all of them.
Yeah.
I want all of them. All the weird shit you guys are going to come out with, just send one to me. I want one.
He when he got to Boston, I forget, that must have been 2014. So I forget whose Lambo it was. I thought it was David Price, but it couldn't have been because Price didn't come to the Red Sox until 16. But anyways, he saw someone's like black Lamborghini and he was like, I want that. And the player was like, I had to customize that for 6 months. It took 6 months to get that custom built and everything. And then they were on a road trip. They came back to Fenway 3 days later and that car was sitting out front waiting for him. So whatever it was that, he's just not afraid to spend it. It's like, yeah, it's custom and it takes a little while. Well, guess what? It doesn't when you have fucking 70 million in the bank.
I will double that, triple that.
Yeah.
Get it here by Tuesday.
Yeah. And they did.
Yep. Done.
How much money do you think he has spent in his life on just cars?
I mean, you could probably go back and do that math, but I'm saying 10 million, 15 million.
That seems light.
Does it?
Dude, he makes that much just raising cattle on the farm, dude, on the ranch. This baseball's a side gig for him.
Yeah. By the way, June 12th. You know what that date is, Dallas?
It's right before the 13th.
Yep. June 12th is when you can catch the Oakland A's on Peacock. Batter up, and we're not just talking about pancakes. Peacock is taking brunch to the big leagues and putting a new spin on America's favorite pastime. Watch exclusive baseball games every week with MLB Sunday Leadoff. All games are available nationwide and no local market blackouts. So you can swing into action wherever you are, no matter what. And another home run? When you subscribe to Peacock, you'll get access to live sports like Sunday Night Football, Premier League, golf, and WWE. Plus, hit movies and shows. Download the Peacock app and take the game on the go or kick back and stream on your favorite devices. Don't miss exciting matchups all season long featuring exclusive pre- and post-game coverage with hosts Ahmed Fareed and Jason Benetti with the play-by-play. Change up your weekend with MLB Sunday Leadoff only on Peacock. Go to peacocktv.com/MLB to sign up right now. And if you get the cock, you can catch Dallas Braden June 12th. A's Guardians, baby. The cock game this weekend is Giants Reds.
It's on the cock.
It's on the cock. Then the week after that, you get Tigers Yankees, and then you get Oakland and Cleveland.
Bet
I'm
on
excited.
The freaking A's. Bet on the A's.
Yeah, baby. Are you excited to be on the cock, Dallas?
I've been a big fan of the cock for a while.
Yeah.
And what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So to be welcomed into the fold,
mm-hmm.
to be given the opportunity.
Yes.
I couldn't be more ecstatic.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a proud dad moment for me.
Very truthfully, I'm very excited to work with Mr. Benetti.
Yeah. That's going to be quite the tandem there. Two very knowledgeable baseball guys who are passionate about the game and very, I guess, modernized baseball broadcasters. They're not your traditional cookie cutter broadcasters.
No, not your granddad's broadcaster.
Not your motherfucking granddad's broadcasters. Also, I was disappointed we missed this last episode. The fucking paddy wagon got clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. He was having a hell of a year.
I know.
Like Chris Paddock got sent over to the Minnesota Twins after being is highly touted, too overzealous to say. I feel like he was.
Not at all. Not at all. No, when we met him in spring and sat down and became lifelong friends, he was. I mean, there was a ton of buzz, and rightfully so. Like you saw the guys stuff. You saw like the competitive nature, and you're just thinking like, man, what a great fit for a kid like him to be in this rotation, can fly under the radar. Like, yeah, there was a lot of excitement, Absolutely.
Yeah. So, his last outing before TJ was against the Oakland A's, and it was obviously his worst outing. 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits. But prior to that, he had a 3.15 through his first 4 starts. And then TJ came a knocking. So I'm hoping, when he's able to return in a year and a half, hopefully, that we get to see that Chris Paddock, because easy guy to root for. I was actually very discouraged, and I don't even know if you know this yet, Dallas. I don't want to say pissed, more just like sad, I guess. I tried to find one of our old interviews, and they're all gone off YouTube. They're all gone.
Damn.
Yep. They wiped our entire YouTube, and then it's just all the new stuff.
Oh man.
Right?
Really? That sucks.
That's funny to me.
That doesn't even make business sense. Like I get like
no, it does. It does. No, Jared, the reason that's funny is because that it does make business sense. And that's the thing. You got to start over. You got to start over.
Guess,
and around every corner, you
would
end up
want
facing
the
that.
views, right? Like if one of those just like goes viral again.
That's like like I'm not a woman, so I can't. Here, that would be like a woman who wants you to believe she's got nice fake boobs walking around with the implants in her hand, like just in her purse. Like, no, I've got implants. I've got fake boobs. Like, do you? Because that does. I don't know. If that's really matching up. Like, that's not. That's different.
Yeah,
that's different. It's like, no, look at these. They're like, you are okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, you do. You are in possession of them, but that's not what it is at all. And that's what would happen when you would go to that YouTube page, right?
Right.
You think you're getting so and so, and you look at this, and you're like, whoa, hold on, look at all this cool shit. Like they did. Oh no, they didn't do any of that. So they got to take that down, and you got to start over.
Yeah. Makes sense. It just sucks because I like some of those videos, like those are just like the only like documented footage that I have of like some pretty cool moments in my life, and then it's just like poof, gone. Sucks. I wish that they had at least like given me a heads up. I would have just like downloaded them just to have them, even if like they weren't repurposed and like posted somewhere.
They're probably still, if you know someone there, would they give them to you? They're probably still up there, just privatized.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, all good. Like, all good.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely playing dumb because like I reached out and I was like, "Hey, are those private or did you delete them?" And they're like, "Oh, I didn't even know that they did that." I'm like, okay, like
who did you reach out to that said that?
Someone in the video department.
Back it up. Beep, beep, beep. Bring that bus on back, Jared. Back it up. Throw a name out there. Beep, beep.
No, I won't do that. But if they do exist, I mean, I would at least want to have them just so that I can like watch them in private again. Like it's like,
well, yeah. I mean, look, anytime you get to sit down, like, I don't even know how many people saw it, but anytime you get to sit down with like both guys who win the most prestigious pitching award, like aside from MVP, like the Cy Young, pretty sweet award. And if you're sitting down with both of the guys who won that award in their respective leagues, and you got video footage of that, like that's probably a solid time.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's
I can't even think about it because then I'll get even more mad that like I'm like, oh fuck, that's gone too.
Don't, Jared. It exists, my friend. It exists. And the reason, and you have to find solace in the reasoning behind why it's gone.
Yeah.
Let that put the smile on your face.
I guess. It's just a lot of good. And like, I tried to like salvage as many of those videos as I could on my TikTok. Like I have like some like abbreviated versions of those videos. Which
dude,
means that
and look, all that's in Dropbox.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through.
Does the producer of the old show, the most current producer of the old show, does she still have access to all that?
I don't know.
I'm sure she does.
Could be.
I don't think it's really much of a question.
Well, we'll have to go back and do some digging.
It's all good. I do got to say this. Each and every city that I have been to thus far, each and every city, I have had multiple members of the grounds crew in that city for that team come up and say, thank you for coming back and thank you for continuing the work we have done. So, Jared, just so you know, I know the little YouTube news got you a little down, got you a little pouty face.
Yeah.
The writers are there. The dedicated, faithful fans are there. And that puts a smile on my face.
And people are still trying to find us. Like I got a message as recently as yesterday from someone being like, oh man, I saw that the show's back, but it's not with you guys. Are you guys going to be doing anything? And I'm like, bro, I'm tweeting. I tweet the episodes every time they come out. I don't know what else I can do. I put them on the Instagram. I tweet them out. Like, I don't know where else I can like reach.
Billboard. Let's get a billboard.
Let's get a fucking billboard.
Every major league city.
Yeah.
DraftKings. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Let's get a fucking billboard. We'll put them up, or we'll get like how much is it to get like a video message on the video board inside the ballpark?
No, you know
that behind home plate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we'll do. That's what we should do. We should just do a sweeping round of video messages in every stadium. And we should plan it so it all goes down like on the same day. So every ballpark is running the same ad the same day.
There's got to be a way.
We can make that happen. We can make that happen.
Yeah, we know people in high places.
We got to be able to make that happen.
Speaking of the injuries, Clev already back on the injured list.
Yeah, what's barking?
What was that? Tricep? I want to say
tricep tendonitis.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Let's see. Yep,
just a little
tricep strain.
Yep. Just a little balky.
Good thing Padres have like 7 starters.
Good thing the Padres have Mackenzie Gore.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Gore is sexual. Extremely sexual. 6 starts, 3-1, 2.06 ERA.
You know what? What's been disappointing is Donaldson Lamet.
Dude, look,
after how nasty he was in 2020, being like, oh man, they fucking got a guy.
Dude, the shoulder.
Yeah. So in 2020, Donaldson Lamet, 69 innings, 93 strikeouts, and a 2.09 ERA. And in 55 and a third innings since then between last year and this year. A 5.20 ERA. The whip about 1.5, close to 1.6. And it just hasn't looked pretty for him.
No, he's got an ERA right now just south of 10.
Yeah. And 8 and a third innings, though.
Well, you limited action because shit has not been going well.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this might be a Padres problem? I think Dallas, you might have a better idea of what goes into pitching, but all their pitchers get hurt. I mean, even Paddock was
you
on
can't
the
throw
Padres.
Clev in there because Clev came over
from the Indians pitching machine.
But then they threw him when he was injured.
That's a decision that both parties have to reach together.
Mm. Do you think like teams can have impact on players, or certain teams get injured more than other teams?
Yes. There are definitely teams or organizations that will just churn through arms. Like if here's how we pitch, here's what we do. We've identified what you do well. You fit into this mold. Go do this. And that could be throw your breaking ball 60% of the time. Show a fastball here and spin. And your arm starts to get a little tight. You start to, shit starts to fray a little. You get a couple pictures taken. It's a grade 1 strain, blah, 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 blah. Well, they'll have you, however their plan of attack works, it might be different. They might say, hey, look, we're just get on the mound. We'll see how it feels. And it can be a completely different approach on how you're taking care of an arm, on how you're demanding work out of an arm. And so one organization might put you in that box and have you perform a certain way, and a different organization might look at you in a completely different light. I mean, just think about the example that gets used all that I always go back to, because it's, you got to think, when you're writing a check for north of $300 million to somebody who's going to be throwing a baseball for the next 10 plus years of their life for you, you want to make sure you've got a good feel for what you're getting. And you want to make sure that you and this individual are comfortable working together. So when Garrett Cole talked about sitting down with the guys in the Astros pitching system and in their lab and just being completely blown away by the information he was given that fit him as an artist, him as an athlete, and how they were going to make him even better. Well, he was being introduced to a completely new ideology, right? He was basically unlocking himself. And one organization had a game plan to do so. Another organization, if you think about it in financial terms, if you have enough money to be saved up and you don't have it in some sort of mechanism working for you, you're losing money. They tell you your money's not making money for you, you're losing money. So if you're not getting a guy better each and every day, each and every year, then you're probably almost doing him a disservice.
Yeah.
Or you're at least doing yourself a disservice because you're not unlocking what you have.
Well, it may be fair to say that Padres aren't the best at that.
In terms of what, unlocking guys?
Yeah, or developing pitchers, and they all seem to get hurt, and then.
Well, I mean, that'll remain to be seen with a guy like Mackenzie Gore, right? Because that's going to be, like, I'm not totally familiar with, we know Joe Musgrove, not a product of the farm system in San Diego.
Oh, he's not.
Yu Darvish, not a product of their farm system. So I don't know.
But also, do you think they knew Paddock was kind of like elbows looking a little rough? Let's trade him.
Everybody gets medicals. Whether or not your team decides to do the diligence, that is what it is. Right? Because there's teams you feel like that just never get anything through medicals. Like, oh no, something saw that, something they saw in the medicals, held it up. Can't happen.
Because that was pretty quick. I mean, when did he get traded? It was like
at the beginning of the year, opening day. It was like opening day.
Yeah,
or the day before fishy, opening day.
Something's fishy about the Padres. I don't know. Their pitchers are fucking getting hurt. Tatis is getting hurt.
They're all in an underground motorcycle club.
Yeah. They want to trade Hosmer, and there's always beef with Hosmer, and let's trade Hosmer, and then he's the best player.
Him and Manny.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Manny's the GOAT. I don't hate Manny, even though Dallas said I did.
Even though Dallas said that.
He accused me of hating Manny.
You brought it up.
You did have some fighting words for Manny, but
yeah.
I ride with Manny. I'm a ride or die with Manny. I love the guy.
I wouldn't say I'm ride or die with Manny, but I have ridden and died with Manny. Like I was a fan until I wasn't, and then I came back. And Padres fans are like trying to gatekeep Manny Machado. Like, fuck you guys. I don't like Padres fans. They're kind of fucking assholes. I've said this before. They are. They're fucking assholes. They are. Like they're very mean people.
Dude, you better chill. You're gonna get a rap made out of you. They're gonna make a rap. You ever see that?
Oh, yeah, that's true. They're fucking mean.
Jared, where's this underground fryer hate coming from, bro?
I've told the story a million times. Like when in 2020, when no one gave a shit about the Padres, I was making Fernando Tatis Jr. merch, and then they were like, "Fuck you!" Like you weren't with us, like last year and the year before, like when we sucked, and now like you're a grifter, and like support local merch people like this guy. And I was like, buddy, we have a deal with the Players Association, so when we sell these shirts, the players get a cut. And you're talking about fucking Johnny Dickhead from fucking San Diego. That's like, it's all profit for him. Like the players don't get a cut at all. So yeah, they were trying to say that I was like
Johnny
cashing
Dickhead,
in.
Jared.
Huh?
That guy's team Johnny Dickhead.
That's fine. Go buy Johnny Dickhead merch if you want. But
yeah, the Slam Diego shirts sold very well.
That is a funny.
But they were trying to say that like we were grifters, and I was like, do you think that we were going to make merch for fucking Will Myers in 2017 when the Padres were losing 100 games? Like, no, like that doesn't make business sense.
Yeah.
You make merch for players that are exciting for teams that are good.
Yeah. Well, Jared, who are you to try to make business sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, Padres fans are just fucking dickheads. But then I've done this like anti-Padre fan rant like 10 times by now. And I'll have Padres fans reach out and be like, "Hey, man, like some of us are nice."
Bad. I don't think it's ever been this bad. You've pretty much denounced every Padre fan here today. You've told each and every Padre fan to, and I quote, "suck my dick."
Yeah,
I didn't see that coming on a fucking Monday morning, but
not
here we are.
Not all
we are.
But
Jake,
definitely a lot.
You can quote card that one right there. Dear Padres fans, each and every one of you can suck my dick. Jared Carrabis.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you like it as a fan base that no one gave a shit about at the time? Wouldn't you
in 2020? Like, are you talking about 2020?
Yeah, no one gave.
Everyone was on their dick on 2020.
Not in the very beginning. Like it wasn't until Slam Diego that everyone was like, "Oh yeah." Like I was on Tatis in 19 when I went to San Diego. I was at Petco in 2019, and the Padres custom made me a Carrabis Padres jersey, authentic, the real deal.
Burn it on camera if you care.
I was like, I'm in.
What a thing for you to. This is a complete heel turn. The Padres extended an olive branch, brought you into their home, clothed and fed you, and here you are turning your back on them.
I'm not turning my back on them. I'm not turning. If you want to gatekeep, then have your little fucking gated community, and that's fine.
Damn,
that's fine.
They're making the diss track right now, dude. They're in the lab. They're in the lab.
Yeah, they're not nice people. They're not nice people.
Beats.
But with Manny Machado, obviously you have that incident with Dustin Pedroia. I don't like that. And then Jesus Aguilar in the NLCS Brewers Dodgers that year, didn't like that. So, I mean, there are definitely instances where Machado deserved the hate that he got. But I don't know. I think like I'm as long as you show growth and that you're not that person anymore, I can support it. But if he was still that dude that's like trying to like intentionally hurt people, I don't fuck with that.
So shout Shout out to Manny for being a grower and not a shower.
Yep.
Got it.
But what I liked about it is that Manny Machado would do that shit and like admit it and be like, he wouldn't say it, but you could tell he wasn't being like, yeah, whatever, dude. It was like,
He'd be like, yeah, just make sure you don't throw on my head. If you're gonna throw me, don't throw on my head.
I play baseball, bro.
I play baseball.
Remember what he said when he told he was like, "No, I don't
He's
really
not
hustle.
Johnny
That's just
Hustle.
not. I'm not really I'm not a fucking tryhard. I'm not a dork."
I'm not a dork. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't be doing that give a fuck thing.
Yeah, he's about to come up on free agency, and he's like, "Yeah, the thing about me is I'm not Johnny Hustle. I'm not out here busting it."
What an approach!
Yeah,
But he does-
It's like an office space moment, right? Like, what is it that you would say you do here? Come in around 11.
yeah.
Take about a
What,
2-hour lunch.
To defend Machado, and I heard this from Ken Rosenthal, he plays like every game. So
Yeah.
Well,
He's a
there's nothing
grinder.
what are you gonna take away from what the dude does on the baseball field? Like nothing.
Yeah.
No.
No, I mean,
You just look like an ignorant asshole if you're trying to like downplay anything that Manny can do on a baseball.
he very well could win the National League MVP this year. Very well. Some
Quite
would
possible.
say he's the front runner,
Front runner.
far and away the front runner in the National League
Mhm.
to win the MVP award this year. And if you want to go see Manny Machado at Petco Park, and you're a fucking asshole Padres fan,
Wow.
boy, do we got the app for you.
it's a great park.
SeatGeek. SeatGeek.
Oh,
Uh,
Padre fans.
They're gonna be mad at you. You should buy from local vendors.
yeah.
Local ticket.
Yeah.
SeatGeek.
You should buy from the local scalpers on the fucking off ramp. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah. I might actually try to use SeatGeek tonight. Maybe catch the Celtics. The Red Sox are off. Nice little off day lines up with the Celtics playoff game. It's nice to be from Boston, where every team makes the playoffs, just like the Red Sox will this year. By the way, we'll get into that in just a second. So I might be using the SeatGeek app tonight. And the best thing about it is that they make it super easy for you. And SeatGeek is so beloved by butts everywhere that they've made it the highest rated ticketing app. Whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, festivals, or anything else, SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web in one place to make buying simple. SeatGeek rates every ticket from 0 to 10 to make sure you're getting a good deal. Green means good and red means bad. And you, even if you're a Padres fan, you can still get this deal. You can get $20 off your first purchase with the promo code JARED, JARED, at SeatGeek.com or on the SeatGeek app. That is promo code JARED for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek, get your seat in a seat. Download the app today. Yeah, I just want to say the Red Sox have the best record in baseball since Alex Cora shaved his beard. That's actually a fact. They're not even like tied with anyone. They just have the best record in baseball since he did that on May 10th.
They're fired up,
That's
bro.
nice.
He fired up the boys.
That's a manager.
I mean, not every firing up the boys method is created the same.
No. All
Like
very
Joe Madden
independent.
fired up the boys by intentionally walking Corey Seager with the bases loaded. And Alex Cora fired up the boys by shaving his beard. You can fire was there a fire up the boys moment? What was it? Who was it? Fucking Bob Geren? Was that your manager?
Yeah, that was my manager.
Was there a fire up
Yeah.
the boys moment? with
Yeah,
him?
there was. There was a fire up the boys moment the night that Bob Geren got fired. We were on a plane ride, and it was not a good plane ride.
Yeah.
There was some massive turbulence, and we actually had a choice to whether or not we wanted to land or just kind of keep sailing through. And just keep it moving. We're just gonna keep it moving. And so, like, when faced with the choice, like, hey, would you like to fly directly, like headfirst into this storm, and maybe come out on the other side. Or, turbulence has been pretty bad. What do you want? No, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
I feel like that shouldn't be a passenger decision at all.
Yeah,
I feel like that should be at the discretion of the pilot.
Let's ask the skip. The skip knows best, dude. Skip knows best.
I don't know that it was necessarily a one individual, but like that was just that was a fire up the boys. And let's make it clear, we didn't know that he had been let go because it was announced the next day.
So do you think he knew at the time?
I find it hard to believe that you didn't know.
What month was this?
Oh, shit. This was early.
We don't see that much anymore. Managers getting fired in season.
No, it was early. Yeah, you could. I don't know.
Why is that?
Why is what?
We don't see in season managerial firings anymore.
I think it's really got to be a perfect storm of eligible candidates, things just not going well at all, like in any area, and a need needing to be made or a move needing to be made,
Mm-hmm.
Like just, I think if all of those things kind of come together, then it makes the decision to move on from somebody easier.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the most part today, there's an understanding that you're entering into each season with a pretty clear roadmap. And whether that's to be competitive or to not be competitive, I think there's an understanding whether or not you're making a real push or any success is to be processed as or interpreted as house money.
Mm.
So probably not going to run into a situation where your team is severely underperforming and that's completely caught you by surprise. And you also believe it to have a lot to do with the manager.
June 9th.
Yeah. So coming up.
June 9th, 2011. In May 2011, Geren's managerial style came under scrutiny by Bay Area press when reliever Brian Fuentes criticized Geren's communication style after he was replaced as the A's closer amid poor performance in the role. Fuentes later apologized to Geren for going public with his comments, and A's owner Lou Wolf endorsed Geren as the A's manager. Geren's last game as manager was on June 9th, 2011. He was subsequently fired and replaced by Bob Melvin. So that was not, he did not fire up the boys by going after fucking Fuentes there.
No. But yeah, change was made. That's that.
Sounds like there could have been a mutiny in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Just
Is planning a coup?
Some guys are communicators, some guys aren't. And and for Bob Geren, just to kind of defend Geren, everybody that had come across him or played with him on staff when he was, a bench coach, had nothing but positive things to say about him. And there's a reason why you keep a guy around in the dugout, whatever that reason may be, whether he's a friend of a guy or whatever. You want people in the dugout that are going to make a positive impact.
Right. And he was.
What I'm saying, but he's in the dugout now with Dave Roberts.
Bob Geren?
Bench coach for the Dodgers.
Let's get him on. Talk about the plane.
Yeah.
Bring up the trauma.
Let's see.
You had your shot. What happened, man?
Yeah. If you could fire up the boys right now, how would you do it, Bob?
I don't know. I don't know that he'd have an answer.
Does he know that you hate his fucking guts?
I don't hate his guts.
That's what you said to us before we started the show.
That is not even close to what I said.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I just defended the man.
No, you didn't. You said, thank God we fired that piece of shit.
No, that's not what I said at all.
You did, dude. That's crazy that you're just walking it back now. Anyways,
no.
I thought you had more spine than that.
No. Well, I don't.
I thought you had more sack to stand by your comments.
No, just going to go with the truth, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. What, the truth that he's a big piece of shit that you can't
believe
had a job with the Oakland A's in the first place?
Unbelievable. Are you done?
I mean, he's a World Series champ.
Are you done?
He got a ring in 2020.
He did.
Yeah.
Like I said, making a positive impact.
Can't
Yeah,
communicate.
you got a ring after you guys got him fired. After you guys went to ownership. That's what you told me. You were like, the pitchers went to ownership, and you're like,
I believe the article you just read gave you a name, and it wasn't mine.
Yeah, but who had more influence in the clubhouse at the time, you or Brian Fuentes?
I'm probably going to go with the 13-year vet.
No, not in the A's clubhouse. Not the 209. Not the 209. Fucking Dallas Braden's house. I think you definitely had more influence in that. Yes or no? Because I'll fucking call Bobby Crosby right now. And I'll ask him, in 2011, who had more pull in the A's clubhouse? Dallas Braden or Brian Fuentes?
I was hurt.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me that Dustin Pedroia didn't have any pull in the Red Sox clubhouse after Manny Machado ended his career in 2017?
I'm a pitcher.
Yeah, but you're a presence. Yes or no? Did you get Bob Geren fired?
I had nothing to do with that decision whatsoever.
Okay, so because I have his number, if I call Bob Geren right now and I say, hey, how much percentage blame do you put on Dallas Braden for you not having a fucking job as the Oakland A's manager today? What would he say?
0.
He'd probably north of 30%, you would say?
0. He would say exactly 0%.
I don't think he would. And I know him well. I know him well.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he would probably come in right around 40%.
No.
It's a lot.
I think, it is a lot.
Probably 40% lower than that.
I think he would probably put 20% on himself, obviously, because he's accountable. He's going to say, hey, some of this was my fault, but a lot of it was that meeting that Dallas Braden held with ownership. Calling for my head.
I did not hold a fucking meeting.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't. It was definitely, I don't even think you can call it a meeting. It was an impromptu meeting. I mean, ownership didn't know it was coming, but
is there a gas leak in your building?
What do you mean?
Because you're fucking delusional.
Anyways, Red Sox have the best record in baseball since Alex Cora shaved his beard. Jake, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, last week I said you might want to pay attention to the Red Sox this weekend, and if you did, you're welcome, because, I mean, what a series.
They won every game, right?
Every single one.
Yeah. Even the last game, too, on Sunday?
Yeah, that last one. They won it on a walk-off grand slam.
It was a grand slam?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they hit some homers, huh?
Yeah, Trevor Story hit 5 homers. I think it tied a Red Sox record for most home runs in a single series. I think he drove in 13 runs. And
that's a fun little record to have.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And to do that and not even be the best hitter on the Red Sox this weekend, pretty crazy. JD Martinez had 583 in that series.
Ball's juice, bro. The ball's juice.
No, the ball's not juice. It's just the Red Sox are heating up. Red Sox are seeing the ball well right now. Yeah.
Things are starting to come around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, I can only hope that you guys experience what I've experienced. Just that feeling of being in a dark, dark place and then coming on out of it. And
dude, we took 2 out of 3 on the road. It's more impressive. Away.
Yeah. Against who?
The Fish.
The Marlins. Yeah, I saw that. There was a big brawl between the aforementioned Jesus Aguilar and Ozzie Albies. It got pretty ugly for a second.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things that happened. I think Marlins Man returned.
He did.
That series. Now that Jeter's out, Marlins Man is back at home where he belongs. Jeter is out. He said,
is that who he had a beef with?
Yeah, they had a big public beef. You ever heard that story?
No, I heard it firsthand 20 times. I've spent a lot of personal time with Lawrence. I call him Lawrence. Marlins Man. We broke bread together, brother. Me and Lawrence have had dinner at Yankee Stadium a couple times. DC.
Jared's been a member of the harem.
Yeah, we're very close, Lawrence and I.
You're one of the mermaids, bro.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Respect.
Yeah,
He's got his own pillowcase at Lawrence's house.
I have not been there. I've not been there. I've been to Miami once, but it's not in my years of.
Old Jared and Lawrence just trying on visors together.
I would do that. I'm not much of a visor guy, but I feel like no, I'm not much of a hat guy. I feel like visors would be perfect for me because then you can still see my hair.
Yeah, I might be wears one.
Yeah, you could get the visor going.
Yeah,
you would absolutely be. Yeah.
Well, because they don't ever wear those orange jerseys anymore. So like, if I wanted to get like an orange Jazz Chisholm jersey, I'd have to like get it special ordered.
Yeah, it would be tough.
Yeah,
they don't make
I'm sure
those.
there's some sort of like jersey maker out there that's like, yeah, I'll fucking hook you up with a Jazz Chisholm orange.
Yeah,
like,
maybe and
fucking traffic cone jersey.
What are those? The Mayan or are those the City Vibe jerseys or whatever the fuck they're called?
No,
I mean, he's been wearing the orange jersey forever.
Yeah, he only wears that one. The classic orange. They don't.
Yeah, it's in the spirit of the sugar. Oh fuck! The name
those
of
are red.
the name of the Cuban team.
Those are red.
Oh, those are red.
Mm.
Yeah,
Bro, you got to figure it out, man.
Whatever.
You got to figure it out. But yeah, that's something that's on the docket for me. I would love to
visor shopping with Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm sure we wouldn't have to shop for him. I'm sure he's got a bunch.
Yeah, you could just go over to his house and try them on together.
Mm-hmm. You sound jealous, dude.
No, that should be a killer time.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Go shopping with Marlins Man. There's no Marlins gear here. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Is that all we got?
I feel like that's it. I mean, I hope your luggage gets returned.
Adley
Rutschman.
Yes.
Shout out Adley Rutschman.
Yes.
MLB debut. Fucking triple his first big league hit.
How about that?
A catcher people in the house.
Catcher. First big league knock. Triple.
Yeah.
And I did think it was really cool how he just right before he squatted down, he spun around and just like took a look around. And it's very real. The third deck effect. And that means
don't look up.
AAA, you're not playing in ballparks that have 3 decks. The whole visual, like the actual visualization of where you're playing baseball. It's like the first time you played on a really nice field, or the first time you played in a really nice gym, on a really nice football field, tennis court, whatever it is, just walking up to the place, walking into the place, everything around it is very different. It gives you a very different feel. It's just like that when you walk out of the locker room, walking down the field, you step foot on the big league field for the very first time, and where you're used to seeing the sky, you don't. Those are seats. Those are signs. Those are full of people, and they're losing their mind because this is the fucking big leagues, and you got to take that moment in. And Adley Rutschman just turned around, soaked it up, because you'd like to believe that he's one of those great stories where, like, there's no going back. He's not riding a bus ever again. And he's going to be a huge, huge part of what Orioles fans hope is a very bright future for their organization, because they feel like they've got a few reasons to be excited. He's probably number one on that list.
Yeah, definitely. Who's like I guess not necessarily going back to your childhood, but maybe like the earlier years, the most hype that you can remember about a prospect coming up? And obviously not like, I guess like Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg, Jason Hayward for some reason sticks out to me.
For me, it was A-Rod.
Yeah.
Like I can remember like people just like this dude's this dude is going to be like, it was Hall of Fame projection.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Was
this
that-
guy's
was
gonna be
that
a
a-
fucking animal. He can run, he can hit, he's got a cannon. Like, the dude is strong, he's wiry, he's going to be 19, 20 years old or whatever the fuck in the big
He was
leagues.
19.
And he's going to hit bombs.
Mhm.
And he's going to play Gold Glove defense. Well, yeah.
Was that bigger than Bryce Harper and Strasburg? Because I feel like those were the biggest, but I live near there, so it might have been like.
Well,
Thrown
like,
off.
you got to think, like, there's no social media train for A-Rod to be writing. And so for the hype to be what it was, like, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, right? He was doing that same shit too. He just wasn't 15 like Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
So Bryce Harper was like the second coming because of his youth and because of what he was doing. Like, he wasn't destroying competition at his level. This was a kid who had gotten his GED so he could enter a higher level of competition and was kicking the shit out of kids in junior college with a wood bat when he was 16 years old, 17 years old. Like, that's why the hype was around him. And then they put a metal bat in his hand and sent him out to Florida. Said, won't you have a taste of Tropicana? And he proceeded to hit balls off the goddamn roof.
It's the heart of a champion. Remember that video? They play that song.
I mean,
him hitting bombs in Tropicana.
Yeah.
So the hype for Bryce, and also because it was like, yo, this kid, like, catcher, like, this dude's a catcher, left-handed power hitting catcher with a hose. And then it was like, I don't know that he's going to be a catcher once he gets to the big leagues. But you're right about that hose. And he's a fucking athlete. So the fact that this kid's about to make a transition from a catching prospect to an outfielder. So Bryce had a ton of hype. Mark Pryor was billed as the guy with the greatest mechanics ever. Like, this is the dude who is a throwing machine, like, clean, powerful fastball, ridiculous hammer. I mean, I remember going to a camp. I remember going to a Tom House camp in San Diego over winter break when I was at Texas Tech, the Texas Tech University. And we were all around the backstop watching Mark Pryor throw his bullpen. And it was like you're like a kid on Christmas waiting for him to call for the curveball with his glove. Like, here it comes, because that's what everybody wanted to see. And the minute he did, you could almost like hear a little buzz, like behind the cage, like, oh shit, here it comes. Oh shit, here it comes. And he threw that fucking curveball, and every one of us behind the cage buckled. We knew it was coming. We were expecting it, and he threw it, and we were 6 feet behind him with a gate and a fucking wall between us, and we all were like, oh God. It was disgusting. Kerry Wood had a ton of hype. Guy fucking shows up to the big leagues and punches 20 tickets. Suck on that.
That was the
I would.
best game ever pitched in the big leagues.
Yeah. Man. Trying to think of who else. Who else might have had a ton of hype?
Mm-mm. I mean, Strasburg was the one for me.
Yeah. Well, he's the last guy to get a big league deal, I believe. Like, when he signed and got drafted, they're like, we're going to pay you big league minimum.
Yeah. Like Adley Rutschman obviously has gotten a lot of hype and a lot of talk, waiting for his big league debut. But in terms of like being out of that market, not being a fan of the player's team, but still knowing that you have to tune in for that start or that first AB, Chris Bryant. When I remember being at work and firing up the Cubs on MLB TV, I couldn't miss Chris Bryant's big league debut. That was one for a position player. And then Steven Strasburg was obviously the guy that I think everyone was thinking, I can't miss this guy's first start. And he electrified in his first start. It lived up to the hype and then some. But
14 punch outs?
Something like that,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember Chris Bryant's big league debut. Yep. Yeah, I can't remember any super recent ones. Yeah. I can't remember any.
Kelnick was the biggest one recently.
Kelnick, Hunter Green.
I mean, like you heard the name, but I mean, he made
not the we're not talking like super duper hype.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a lot different when it's like opening day or the first, when you start on the team with the roster, it's like less hype.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you
like
come
Julio
in.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
There was hype there,
was,
but then if you're not called up 3 weeks after opening day or any time during the season, it does take some of the
and that's why service manipulation is good and we need to keep it. It is so exciting. And this Players Association.
Service manipulation is fucking lit.
It is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's dope.
All right. We'll be back on Thursday.
They should have kept Adley Rutschman down, bro, like a few more weeks. How sick would it be if just a couple more weeks?
Sending everybody your address, your home address.
We'll see you in a few days. I guess.
Have a great week.
Have a great week. I hope both your suckbag teams find a way to climb back into it the way the Red Sox have.
We're coming for you, Phillies. Fuck the Phillies.
Green and gold right now.
Oh, God. Stop it.
Green and gold.
Stop it.
Getting ready to pound Seaman.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, we softened him up for you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Before I go, Jake, how's the weather out there in Midtown?
Right now we got 68 degrees, mix of sun and clouds, winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour, humidity 47%, UV index 8 out of 10, and a waning crescent tonight for the moon phase.
Ooh, waning.
Yeah, waning. Oh, also shout out to Yachty. Little love on the bump, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Him and Albert.
Yeah.
Become the first two teammates 75 years or older to throw pitches as a position player in a sanctioned baseball game.
They both have a 36 ERA.
Damn. What are the odds, man?
Yeah.
What
Probably pretty
are
good.
the odds?
That both dudes just get fucking lit up. Yeah, good. I think they're good.
But they get lit up exactly the same. Come on.
Well,
shout out to Evan Longoria for asking for the ball after getting a knock off Pools.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You definitely want that ball.
Yes. Absolutely. Like you're taking all that gear. Like I want that uniform. Like this is the uniform that I wore when I fucking smoked a ball off Albert Pujols.
That is.
Wait, hold on. What? No, did Albert smoke that ball? No. You heard that correctly. He came in and pitched. I got a hit off Albert Pujols.
You think I could get a hit off Albert Pujols, Dallas?
With big league defenders behind him? Well, you play softball. You might be able to dump one in there.
Yeah.
I'd fucking crush a homer.
No, Jared would have no chance.
No, I definitely would. I'm very strong. I have a great swing. And he's throwing like fucking 65.
No.
You don't think I could get a hit off Albert Pujols? You kidding me?
I don't know. I've seen you play.
What was his? Yeah, you saw me fucking smash like a ball of a fucking warning track off you, and you're an actual pitcher.
It's just not even close to being accurate.
What are you talking about? It's on video, dude. It's unfortunately wiped from the internet, but
oh wow, damn. Hate to see
it. the video did exist.
No, that's not true.
I faced
you mean
Dallas
the video of you and I playing baseball with Jack White?
Yeah, and then I just
that video,
fucking absolutely
what a cool video that is.
Yeah.
Moves the needle for some.
Yeah, I faced Dallas and I just absolutely hammered one to the wall. And obviously they had the scouting report. They were playing me perfect. And
who won that game?
You guys walked off in 8 innings.
Hey, Team War Stick, baby. That's right.
Literally.
That's right.
That was so stupid. They're like, all right, well, let's call it 8. Let's call it 8. And then I was
I don't
standing
make the
up there
rules.
watching the walk-off celebration at home plate. Like, what the fuck is this?
I don't make the rules, Jared. All I do is win, no matter
Nah,
what.
That was absolute garbage. Anyways, all right. We'll see you Thursday.
Yeah. Wow.